The Zen masters don't talk, all action. Okay, they don't talk. So he says, and then there is this little mat. Sit on the mat, and he sits in front of him. As he sat, a fellow, his shishya comes with a Chinese cup, chota cup, and a big saucer, right? Puts it in front of the CEO, another cup and saucer in front of the Zen master. As he did that, another guy comes with a huge kettle of chai, or tea. Tea is a very common thing, with a tea, right? And he comes there and starts pouring. He poured, full, poured, and poured until the pot is empty. So as it was empty, the eye goes up. The Zen master gets up, bows to the CEO. CEO gets up, walks away. How do you interpret each of this action? So you are basically, is the scenario very clear? I'm not agreeing. Scenario, okay? So you had a little cup. Now you have a cup which is full, saucer which is full, and tea all over. You have this huge kettle which was full, empty. You have a CEO who is smiling. I got it. There are umpteen interpretations. So if I just sit here and talk about it, it'll be 2 hours to give you, but let me give you a little hint of what is this? What does the kettle signify? One interpretation, another interpretation. And I tell you, I was talking to a fresh 18-year-olds liberal arts kiddos in Gandhinagar, 365 of them, and I told this story, and they were fantastic. They came out with a number, 10 interpretations. I want you to go home, interpret, but let me, what do you think would be the kettle? Let us say kettle is mind, brain, what have you. So what probably one interpretation would be, the whole mind and brain is cluttered with information, all kinds of information. Because it is already cluttered in me more than in you, and much more than in a child, yeah? Anything new cannot be absorbed very fast. Cluttered. What do I have to do? I have to empty it. So it says, the Zen master tells CEO, please empty your cluttered thing so that you can absorb some new things. I'll ask you a very simple question which happened to me. When I was growing up, and this happens in the hostels and all that, somebody comes to me and says, hey, this guy, don't trust him. Don't trust this guy. So I already make an impression about that guy, untrustworthy. After a few days, I bump into that guy and find out, hey, the guy is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Therefore, do not believe anybody who talks about other things unless you experience it. That is why we clutter all this in mind with all kinds of information. Therefore, I only say in a jovial matter. So when I came in, many of you would have said, what is this little fellow going to tell me that I don't know? I know. What's this going to tell me? So I have preconceived notion about an individual. Therefore, whatever good, bad, ugly I say, it doesn't make a dent of information on you. But imagine if your mind is open, uncluttered, maybe thoda sa jayega andar. Maybe. And that is really what Zen Master is telling them. So, let me come back, okay? So I have a few questions. Basically to the faculty, are we providing quality education learning to our students? Are we adding, now more specifically, are we adding substantial value to our students today in the process of lifelong learning? Lifelong learning, I'm not talking about these 4 years that you are here. 4 years here, I catalyze a little bit here and there. But I tell you how to learn, and then you go and lifelong learning. Then I say, are we providing right skill sets for that future? Because once you go out, you've got to face the world. So while you are here, do I teach you how to live in the complex, multidisciplinary world? How do you manage this complexity? Whether it is in employment, whether it is business, or in academia, or at home, complexity. And India is a beautifully complex nation. Hazar pulls, hazar pushes, every now and then, thokar khate, yeah? But you still are nice and strong to face the world. Why? Because UPES has given you the mantra of success by telling you what real life is. So it's not only the theory, it's the practice. So we'll come to that. So these are the fundamental questions that I ask my faculty, and that is, I'm a faculty. I ask myself, at the end of the day, am I doing justice to my presence? Am I satisfying the customer? You are the customer. Am I delighting the customer? You are the customer. Am I delighting? I see those faces. I know the meaning. Innovation in teaching, research, and in everything we do should be the most important driving force for any institute. Innovation. How much innovation do we do in teaching? How much documentation do we do if I have done a great job of how to do it? We don't document. We don't think it's documentation, no. But unless you document, how do I know to improve myself? And these Americans are fantastic at documentation, packaging. They're superb in packaging. They have packaged yoga and through that package to India, and we're wrapping that yoga. We've forgotten hot yoga, cold, what are they? A lot of yoga. Ayurveda, we're the old spirits of Ayurveda. There comes a word in the United States called Aveda, reflecting Ayurveda. Why you are dropped? Aveda. Packaging is very important, but are we only going to do packaging or are we going to do innovation? Are we addressing, this is a very key issue, and I'll explain a little bit. Are we addressing different learners? fast, medium, slow. And let me talk from my own experience. I first taught at IIT Kanpur or IIT Bombay, same class, almost the same receptivity. Therefore, where I shoot in my class, very high, medium or low, doesn't matter. I shoot highest level. And that's what happens in IITs. I went to DIICT. It was all India, but we say they are not IIT material, but DIICT material. The difference is this much. It has gone up. Okay? So, are there fast learners, medium learners, slow learners? Could be. So how do you shoot? Then some, I won't name, the differential is this. Even in IITs today we have a problem. The problem is because of patience, and in other institutions we have reservations. Yeah? Reservations increases this. Fortunately, UPES has no reservation. Fortunately. And my kudos to Dr. Chopra and management. So wherever there is this, slow learner, medium learner, and fast learner. How do I teach these guys? Guys and gals, how do I teach them? This is my problem. And in a class of 360 or at DIICT PDPU 240, in a class of 240, unless I know this, it will be very difficult for me. Very difficult for me to shoot and satisfy everybody. So in tutorials, I try to do the balancing act of giving the maximum time to slow learner, little less time to fast learner, no time to fast learner, they don't need it, and medium learner. So are we addressing that? We need to. What approach do we use in class? Top down or bottom up or mixed? Question? Top down, bottom up. Theory is a bottom. Bottom up is I first teach you theory. That is my standard procedure, right? In fluid mechanics I teach you equations and then I go up and apply it. To a fellow who can do abstract thinking, the bottom up approach is suitable. To 80% of the students who have difficulty in abstract thinking, you need to go top down. I need to give you the situation first. Hey, there is a leak in your tank. What do? What is fluid mechanics there? There is this copper pot, stainless steel pot with a aluminum bottom. You go into the kitchen. Mother is the best engineer, best manager. She knows. So you go and find out, hey, what is this difference? Why is aluminum clad vessel better than XYZ? So if I start from there, then I can talk about heat transfer, conduction, convection, radiation. You will get very quick picture. Therefore, we need to decide, depending upon the, and this classification changes every time. So every time I need to be dynamic in nature. I can't give you the same recipe. Sorry. Therefore, I cannot give you the same old notes that I gave earlier. Therefore, no notes. Therefore, I bring something in the class which is original. You won't find it in a book. You don't find it on internet. You may. But unless I bring new something to the table, you will not listen to me. And definitely not for first 55 minutes. Oh, that is a very nice saying. Learning can occur in the absence of teaching. Learning can occur in the absence of teaching, teaching has not occurred if there is no learning. I don't ask that question. I come, teach and go. Who is worried whether you have learned or not? So, teaching has not occurred if there is no learning. If a teacher and a student is aware, we may improve student learning. What is excellence? Excellence in higher education. I've already talked about the other factors. I will say system or autonomy. Fortunately, you are very lucky. You seem to have the academic autonomy, managerial autonomy, financial autonomy. And fortunately, hopefully, I hope there are not too many restrictions on academic autonomy down the line. It's not enough to say I have academic autonomy. Every faculty member should have automatically autonomy, academic freedom, environment, etc. So if they don't have, it doesn't mean anything. Systems and processes. All systems and processes should be transparent and should be on the net. Whether it is student admission process, the student comes in and goes out. Every process has to be documented and available. Faculty recruitment, retention, promotion, all faculty promotion policies must be transparent and on the net, maybe intranet if you want to. But if you go to any foreign university, everything is transparent and on the internet. All the rules, regulations. By the way, in academia there are no rules and regulations, there are norms. And the norms need to change dynamically. Therefore, management has to be facilitating, I call it enlightened management. Accountability, commitment and adaptability. I have seen in IIT students running helter and skelter for paying their fees. And the offices are open from 10 to 5. The period where these guys are very busy. So they bunk the class and go and pay. Delight a customer? If you don't pay, I don't survive. You know, we have been talking about industry-academia interaction ad infinitum. And where is the industry-academia interaction? I'm exaggerating. Very little. You see it reflected in the R&D input. Unless the industry thinks it necessary and industry is going to gain from academia, they will not partner. I'm talking about partnership in the entire process of education. They should be involved in curriculum development. They should be involved in course design. They should be involved in team teaching. If I'm teaching fluid mechanics, heat transfer, mass transfer, I need every week or every 2 weeks this industry person come and teach applications. That's where the medical education model is one of the best models there is. Why? Theory is, you know, we have been talking about industry-academia interaction ad infinitum. And where is the industry-academia interaction? I'm exaggerating. Very little. You see it reflected in the R&D input. Unless the industry thinks it necessary and industry is going to gain from academia, they will not partner. I'm talking about partnership in the entire process of education. They should be involved in curriculum development. They should be involved in course design. They should be involved in team teaching. If I'm teaching fluid mechanics, heat transfer, mass transfer, I need every week or every 2 weeks this industry person come and teach applications. That's where the medical education model is one of the best models there is. Why? Theory in the morning, anatomy, physiology, whatever you want. Afternoon, you have a live patient or a dead patient to work on. Your theory becomes seasoned. Therefore, an MBBS can start, it becomes an entrepreneur. Because this medical education model is one of the best. Engineering, we were not able to do that. We were not able to do that when I was studying. Then came simulators. I can let you have a simulator and a laptop with you, and you can blow the plant. Nobody. Right? You can understand how do I operate, what is the efficiency, blah, blah, blah. Now, that doesn't mean you have learned everything. Because seeing a picture of a distillation column and I taking you to a refinery and seeing it, oh wow, I never had a concept of what distillation column looks like, a furnace looks like, a pump looks like, a compressor looks like. Therefore, exposure to industry is a must. Is a must. We cannot bring the plant, but in future maybe I can set up a refinery here. Of course, my refinery expert is right here. So, process intensification. Process intensification. Can we do process intensification and miniaturize the plant here to produce what I want? Dr. Chopra's strength. So this is how you have to dream the future. You have to dream the future and start implementing that future. So partnership is very important to me. That's why you talked about the 5-year cooperative integrated MTech program. In '85, we started, thanks to our director,